Hey YouTube, Brian LCS. Welcome to this video, the Amazing Spider-Man number 18 review. There are going to be spoilers ahead, so if you have not read this or don't want to be spoiled, please come back after you've read the book. So this is one of the variant covers, Ed McGuinness. This is the design cover. We have Ed McGuinness on the interior arts and Zeb Wells on story. So let's jump in. We pick up where we left off from one of the tie-in books, the X-Men 3. And we see that Madeline Pryor and the X-Men have come to a deal. They have stopped fighting one another and have basically, have come to a truce. And so Madeline is then going to Ben and Hallows Eve, or Chasm and Hallows Eve, and letting them know that, look, this needs to stop. And Ben is upset with it because it's, they haven't completed what they agreed upon, that they were going to get his memories back from Spider-Man. And so he's kind of really taken aback by this, and he basically swings off. And there's the creative team. And then we cut to Spider-Man and Rap, who are trying to find their way out of Limbo and back to Manhattan, New York City. But the Insidious Six is still on their tail, and so we have a little bit of a battle, and we see Rap is kind of interesting. He's kind of a little bit of a goofball, but we see he's got the venom-like tongue, which is pretty interesting to see. So, but they take out the Insidious Six, really no match for Peter, Spider-Man and Rap. And then we cut back to Hallows Eve and Madeline. And Madeline's basically, look, I'm giving up Limbo, and she's going to go off with the X-Men. And then, Hallows Eve basically confronts her. She's upset that she didn't keep her end of the deal with Chasm, with, Ben. And so she turns into one of her characters. She wears these different masks that give her different powers. And she basically takes Madeline Pryor and throws her into the Limbo abyss. And then she takes her scythe or scythe that gives her her power within Limbo. And then again, we cut back to the, the fight going on with Spider-Man, Rap, and the Insidious Six. And we see J. Jonah and Robinson trying to get their way, to the portal that will bring them back to New York City. So this is kind of the back and forth. Now we got back to Chasm, who's at the tree where the apples were growing. The apple would have, if Peter Parker would have bitten the apple, would have given Ben back his memories. And so we see Hallows Eve now approach, and she has Madeline Pryor's weapon, and she hands it over to Ben for him to rule Limbo. And as we can see, once he takes it, it turns him into something a little bit bigger. And we see him all hail King Chasm. So then we're back to Spider-Man and Rap, in the battle. And then there's some big boom. And we see that King Chasm is now on their tail. And both Spider-Man and Rap try to stop him, but they are no match for him. And then we see Chasm basically take, ownership of being the leader of Limbo. And We see some large energy or explosion, and then we see some almost castle-like structure, being formed. And now Peter comes to after taking on Chasm and not faring well. And we see, the X-Men here with Madeline Pryor now. And there's a little funny line where, Spider-Man basically tells the X-Men to ignore Rec-Rap. So, Madeline Pryor comes to Spider-Man and the rest of the people, J. Jonah, Rep-Rack, and Robbie, and they basically say, they're in this now together to stop Chasm. And that's where we end this issue. And so now this is the last storyline of Dark Web within Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man. The conclusion will wrap up. I think we have 2 more issues, a Venom issue, and then Dark Web finale book. And so we'll finally get the conclusion of the storyline that's been going on for 2 months over a bunch of different tie-in books. So overall, I really like the way the Madeline Pryor storyline kind of wrapped up with the X-Men, and they finally came to an agreement, a truce, and decided to work together. The Spider-Man storyline's been a little, kind of goofy out there. I like the introduction of Rep-Rack, or Rec-Rap, yep. But I'm not sure if, where we're going with this character. He was a demon from Limbo combined with some Venom symbiote that created him. So we'll see. My guess is that he will stick around because it's he's tied with some of the Venom symbiote, that he will stay around. So, but overall, this event has been somewhere in the middle for me. Not great, not really, really bad, just kind of somewhere in the middle. Like, I think they could have not done so many tie-in books. But like I said, we're almost wrapping it up. And then we'll be on to a new story arc. But overall, for this issue of The Amazing Spider-Man number 18, I'm going to go right in the middle again, 2.5 web heads out of 5. It was okay. Like I said, I enjoyed the X-Men side of the story more than I actually enjoyed the Spider side of the story. So, but that's it. Let me know what you think of this storyline. I know a lot of people have been enjoying it. Like I said, somewhere in the middle for me, but let me know. Let me know down in the comments what you think of the story. What do you think of Rep-Rack? Will he be around? Will he be a character that we'll see again? And where do we go? Where do you think the whole Chasm storyline and Hallows Eve is going to wrap up? I do know there is an upcoming solo Hallows Eve book, so obviously she'll be sticking around, or at least through that series. So, I guess only time will tell. But let me know. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you for issue 19 soon.